Before we step into today's story, pause with me for just a moment. If you believe that some stories don't end when people walk away, if you've ever missed someone quietly without drama, without closure, if you've ever held memories that still feel alive long after time has passed, then make sure you're subscribed to this channel. Turn on the notification bell, because these are the kinds of stories we tell here. Stories that don't just play on a screen. They linger. They sit with you. They follow you into the quiet hours of the night. And today's story is one of those. The sky over Seattle looked unreal that evening. Not beautiful in the obvious way, but layered, conflicted, emotional. Burnt orange clouds stretched across the horizon, melting slowly into deep blues and fading purples, like the day itself was struggling to let go. The city below reflected that same hesitation. Headlights traced glowing paths along rain-polished streets. Cafes spilled warm yellow light onto sidewalks. Windows flickered on one by one, like stars waking up. From the outside, everything looked alive. But inside a small apartment on the 8th floor, the world had gone very quiet. Leia sat by the window, knees pulled close to her chest, her fingers resting gently against the cold glass. She wasn't watching the traffic or the lights or the people moving far below. Her eyes were focused somewhere else entirely. Somewhere that didn't exist anymore. Except in memory. Beside her on the couch lay her phone. Face down. Dark. Silent. It had been that way for almost a year. Leia didn't need to pick it up to know exactly which name she wished would appear on the screen. Noah. Even now, thinking his name carried weight. Not sharp pain, something duller. Heavier. The kind of ache you learn to live with. The kind that settles quietly in your chest. And reminds you it's still there when everything else slows down. Almost 12 months had passed since they last spoke. Really spoke. No arguments. No shouting. No dramatic gudwie. Just distance. Distance that grew slowly, invisibly, until one day it became too wide to cross. She still remembered the sound of his voice the last time they talked. Come. Careful. As if he were afraid of breaking something fragile. Maybe we both need some time to grow. Those words had never left her. They resurfaced at the strangest moments. While brushing her teeth. While standing in line for coffee. While lying awake at night staring at the ceiling. Like a song you don't remember learning. But somehow know every word to. After he left, Leia tried to do what everyone tells you to do. She rebuilt. Or at least she tried to. She filled her weekends with plans she didn't really want to attend. Laughed a little louder than she felt. Stayed out later than she wanted. She said yes when she meant maybe. She kept herself busy, because being busy felt safer than being still. Work became her refuge. Noise became her shield. But life has a way of creating quiet whether you invite it or not. And in those quiet moments, late at night, early in the morning, in the pauses between one thought and the next, his name would return. Softly. Unannounced. Tonight was one of those nights. The city hummed beneath her window, alive and restless, but Leia felt suspended in time. Trapped between who she was and who she used to be. Between what had happened and what had never been said. Without really deciding to, she reached for her phone. Not to call. Not to text. Just to scroll. Just to feel connected to something, anything, that existed beyond her apartment walls. Her thumb moved automatically, until it didn't. She froze. There it was. A photo. A familiar face. A small cake glowing under candlelight. The caption was simple. Happy birthday to me. Leia's breath caught so sharply it felt like her chest forgot how to move. For a long second, she didn't blink. Didn't think. Didn't breathe. It was incredible how one small update, one casual post, could undo months of careful emotional distance. How quickly buried feelings could rise to the surface when you least expect them to. Noah, she whispered. Her voice was barely there. Like she was afraid that saying his name out loud might make everything too real. Memories rushed in without permission. Birthdays she planned for him. The scrapbook she stayed up all night making by hand. The terrible meal she once cooked just to surprise him. Burnt edges and all. The way his eyes lit up when he realized she had made something instead of buying it. She wondered who was with him now. Friends? Someone new? Or maybe no one. Strangely, that thought hurt the most. She tapped into his profile. Photos of snow, covered mountains, laughing faces. A work post announcing his promotion in Boston. He looked happy. But Leia noticed what most people wouldn't. Something behind his eyes. A softness. A quiet distance. A familiarity that made her chest tighten. She pressed the phone against her heart and closed her eyes. The question she had avoided for months returned, louder than ever. Should she message him? Would it be awkward? Too late. Too much. Had he moved on? Or worse, had he forgotten her? Her fingers hovered over the screen. She typed slowly. Happy birthday, Noah. 3 words. Simple. Harmless. Terrifying. And then she erased them. Just like that. Her courage disappeared as quickly as it came. She leaned back against the couch, staring up at the ceiling. You probably don't even remember me anymore, she whispered into the empty room. But even as she said it, she knew it wasn't true. Some memories don't fade. They just grow quiet, waiting.